Welcome to MMA Unleashed. Your fight news, drama, and highlights unleashed. The highly anticipated rematch between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. The upcoming UFC 320 event is shaping up to be one of the most exciting fight cards of the year, with a highly anticipated rematch between light heavyweight contenders Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira headlining the main event. These two dynamic fighters first met at UFC 311. Where Ankalaev emerged victorious via a closely contested unanimous decision. However, the razor-thin nature of that fight has set the stage for a thrilling rematch that could go either way. In the lead-up to this rematch, there has been no shortage of analysis, predictions, and trash talk from various MMA personalities and fighters. From Dustin Poirier's belief that Pereira will finish Ankalaev, to Dricus Du Plessis' confidence in Pereira's ability to reclaim the title. The anticipation for this fight is palpable. As we delve deeper into the details, it's clear that this rematch has the potential to be an absolute war.
Close to 100% are they saying you can get to your
I mean, they said, like, they were giving me an example of some guy who ran marathons and he was able to run a marathon. I think it was only like a year and a half after his surgery. So like they say, there's a guy that was like, they gave me all these guys to talk to if I wanted to. One guy was like a mountaineer, so he does that. But so I think physically I can be really healthy again, but it's just like, now there'll be like effing stack of pills I got every morning. Like before this, I was on no medication, none, right? And now it's like, I don't know, I probably gotta take 40 pills a day.
Wow.
And that's gonna go down. But it's never, ever gonna go to zero.
Magomed Ankalaev's dominant run and the path to redemption. Magomed Ankalaev has been on a tear in the UFC, establishing himself as one of the most formidable light heavyweight contenders in the division. With a professional record of 18-1, the Dagestani fighter has showcased his well-rounded skill set, combining powerful striking with a relentless grappling game. His most recent victory over Ankalaev at UFC 311 was a testament to his adaptability and fight IQ, as he was able to neutralize Pereira's dangerous striking and grind out a hard-fought win. However, Ankalaev is not one to rest on his laurels. In the aftermath of that victory, he has been laser-focused on making the necessary adjustments to ensure he comes out on top in the rematch. As Dricus Du Plessis noted, Ankalaev has been sharper and more intense in training, suggesting he is determined to leave no doubt in the minds of the fans and the judges. One of the key factors that could work in Ankalaev's favor is his ability to control the pace and distance of the fight. As Du Plessis pointed out, Ankalaev's smart approach in the first fight, where he avoided Pereira's power and then closed the distance to smother him, was a crucial factor in his victory. If Ankalaev can replicate that strategy and maintain his composure, he will undoubtedly be a tough puzzle for Pereira to solve.
Hello everyone. So what happened last night, I went training, trying to get accustomed to the fight time, so I went pretty late. This week I've been feeling excellent. There's no weight cut for me, so normally I'd be pretty drained, whereas this time, I was full of power, full of strength, and my coach has cleared me to train all this week, up until Wednesday. And I wanted to, obviously push hard. It's an important fight for me. We went training last night. I knew the fight was going to be a lot of grappling, a lot of takedown defense. So, we decided to grapple, tried to be, safe, didn't start standing up, went from the floor to, try and avoid injury, and got into it. I wanted to give it a hard push. I was pushing hard, and it was going really good. And we just had an accidental head clash. As soon as that happened, I could see blood everywhere, quickly covered it with the towel, ran upstairs, trying to not let anybody see me, As soon as got to the room, contacted PFL, they got the doctor, but as soon as the doctor, came in, he saw the cut, he said, there's no way you can be fighting with that. The cut was very deep, very bad. There was, as he called it, there was a flap there. It wasn't just a straight line. It's probably due to the fact that I have a lot of scar tissue on my face from my time at the bare knuckle and just all the fights I've had over the years. For me personally, I've never ever pulled out of the fight. I fought with any kind of injury possible, ligaments, broken hands, fever, antibiotics, you name it. I've always fought, never ever, pulled out of the fight. The doctor said, no way, we cannot fight, he cannot, clear me to fight. So the fight had to be pulled, I would like to apologize in front of all the fans, for this pullout. In front of PFL, of course, and most importantly, my opponent and his team. Zubaira, I'm really sorry for this. I know how, not nice it is to get fight taken away from you on fight week. I'm really, really sorry. I only hope that we can, reschedule this fight. I know that the world wants to see this fight. It's a must fight. I really want to fight. PFL wants this fight, so I really hope that Zubaira will agree to reschedule this fight and we can do it properly this time. Once again, I'm really, really sorry for this. I know how annoying it is. I hope you can all forgive me, and I hope to make up for it when we do finally meet. I'm going to make it an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be a war, and everyone is going to be very, very happy with this. Once again, so sorry to everybody.
Alex Pereira's hunger for redemption and the pursuit of the title. On the other side of the equation, Alex Pereira is a fighter with a burning desire to reclaim the light heavyweight title. The Brazilian striker is known for his devastating knockout power and his ability to finish fights in spectacular fashion. His loss to Ankalaev at UFC 311 was a setback, but it has only served to fuel his determination to come back stronger and prove that he is the true champion. Pereira's path to redemption has been a topic of much discussion, with Stephen Thompson suggesting that the time away from the sport may have been beneficial for the former champion. The break could have allowed Pereira to reset, refocus, and regain the hunger that propelled him to the top of the division in the first place. One of the key areas that Pereira and his team have likely been working on is his ability to avoid being pushed against the fence and smothered by Ankalaev's relentless grappling. As Du Plessis pointed out, this was a significant factor in the first fight, and Pereira will need to find a way to keep the fight in the center of the octagon, where he can unleash his devastating striking arsenal. If Pereira can find a way to keep the fight standing and land his signature power shots, he has the potential to turn the tables on Ankalaev and reclaim the light heavyweight title. The hunger and determination that he has displayed throughout his career make him a formidable opponent, and the rematch promises to be a true clash of styles and wills. The predictions and perspectives from the MMA community. As the anticipation for UFC 320 continues to build, the MMA community has been abuzz with predictions and analysis regarding the Ankalaev-Pereira rematch. From seasoned veterans to rising stars, the opinions on who will emerge victorious are varied and intriguing. Dustin Poirier's confidence in Pereira. One of the most notable voices in the MMA world is that of Dustin Poirier, who has expressed his belief that Pereira will finish Ankalaev in their rematch. Poirier stated, "I just think he's danced with this guy before. He wants that title back, and he wants to win. He wants revenge, and he wants to show that wasn't him in the last fight. There's a lot of reasons why, and he's too dangerous of a fighter to go in there and not find that shot this fight. I think it's going to be a KO or TKO." Poirier's confidence in Pereira's ability to turn the tables on Ankalaev is a testament to the Brazilian's striking prowess and the belief that he has the tools to finish the fight decisively. Dricus Du Plessis' prediction and insights. Another prominent voice in the MMA community is that of Dricus Du Plessis, who has provided valuable insights into the potential outcome of the rematch. Du Plessis believes that Pereira has the tools to reclaim the title, stating, "I honestly feel the way I saw him in training. The stuff that I saw, he looks sharper. He looks, like I said, just more intense." However, Du Plessis also acknowledged the challenges that Pereira will face, particularly in avoiding Ankalaev's relentless pressure and grappling. He noted, "The striking was never the problem. He's going to need to keep it back, off the fence. And I do believe that they've spent enough time on working on that." Du Plessis' insights provide a balanced perspective, recognizing Pereira's improvements, while also highlighting the areas where Ankalaev's strengths could pose a significant threat. Tom Aspinall's prediction and confidence in Ankalaev. In contrast to Poirier and Du Plessis, heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall has expressed his belief that Ankalaev will once again emerge victorious. Aspinall stated, "Tough fight, but I think Ankalaev is going to do it again." Aspinall's confidence in Ankalaev's ability to repeat his success is rooted in the Dagestani fighter's well-rounded skill set and his ability to adapt to Pereira's strengths. Aspinall's perspective adds another layer of intrigue to the rematch, as the MMA community...
Main event, Ilia Topuria just said he's the main event of the White House event next year. Ilia versus Conor, it. You want a big fight? If you want a main event, the White, but they're not American.
Yeah.
But does it matter?
Conor
American. It would be. I think Ilia could. Never count Conor out.
Ilia's a beast.
Ilia is pound for pound the greatest fighter to ever walk this earth. Greatest fighter pound for pound ever.
Even over Jones, dude. Huh?
Yeah. Even over Jones, I think. It's just like his last 3 fights. KO's Volkanovski, KO's Max Holloway, KO's Charles Oliveira. He's not beating these guys in a decision. He's not taking them down, holding them down. These guys can't get up. He's knocking them out.
Yeah.
It's
I could take it.
The significance of the rematch and its impact on the light heavyweight division. Beyond the individual narratives and predictions, the significance of this rematch extends far beyond the octagon. The light heavyweight division has been in a state of flux, with various contenders vying for the opportunity to challenge for the title. The outcome of this fight could have a profound impact on the direction of the division and the future title picture. If Ankalaev emerges victorious once again, he will cement his status as the clear-cut #1 contender and position himself for a shot at the light heavyweight championship. This would be a significant achievement for the Dagestani fighter, who has steadily climbed the ranks and proven his worth as a true elite-level talent. On the other hand, if Pereira is able to reclaim the title, it would not only be a redemptive moment for the Brazilian, but also shake up the division in a major way. Pereira's dynamic striking and finishing ability make him a dangerous threat to any light heavyweight champion, and a potential title reign could usher in a new era of excitement and unpredictability at the top of the division. Regardless of the outcome, the rematch between Ankalaev and Pereira promises to be a must-watch event for any MMA fan. The clash of styles, the high stakes, and the personal narratives involved all contribute to the anticipation surrounding this fight. As the MMA community eagerly awaits the main event of UFC 320, one thing is certain. The light heavyweight division is about to witness a seismic shift that will reverberate throughout the sport.
UFC business model now would make more money off Dakota than it would Magomed, bar none. Matter of fact, Magomed's actually hurting the UFC. It's tough to say, because if he goes out and beats Alex, who's a much bigger star than him, it actually hurts the UFC. Now, if you're a purist, you're like, well, the best of the best fight in the UFC, if he wins, he's the champ. I get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about maximizing money, endorsement deals, TV time, a pretty girl who's very talented, who's a 500 fighter we can get more money out of than this guy from Dagestan who's a beast but isn't good on the mic. His talking's a little dicey, you know, it's just, and he's also so good that the stars you want to be the face of the UFC, he beats. That's an issue. So people will say the UFC has a star problem.
Conclusion. The rematch between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira at UFC 320 is one of the most highly anticipated fights of the year. Ankalaev is looking to solidify his status as the top contender in the light heavyweight division, while Pereira is determined to reclaim the title he lost in their first encounter. The MMA community has been abuzz with predictions and analysis, with Dustin Poirier, Dricus Du Plessis, and Tom Aspinall offering their unique perspectives on the potential outcome. Regardless of who emerges victorious, the significance of this rematch extends far beyond the individual fighters, as it has the potential to shape the future of the light heavyweight division. Fans can look forward to a thrilling clash of styles and a true test of wills as Ankalaev and Pereira step into the octagon once again. Thanks for watching MMA Unleashed. Smash that like button, drop your fight picks in the comments, and subscribe so you never miss the next war inside the cage.